Hi, welcome to Two Non-Yarn Snobs, a podcast about the fiber arts. You can follow us on Instagram at Two Non-Yarn Snobs. Anna's slow today.
She's going faster than I am.
You also can find us on Ravelry at
See how fast
Sabrina
she's going?
is JD's Girl.
Oh, see, you skipped a page.
Anna is Joey's Rib. Feel free to leave us messages on Ravelry. We'd love to talk to you. Also, you can email us at twononyarnsnobs@gmail.com. Yeah, I think that's all of that. Admin. So we had our giveaway drawing.
Yes, we did.
And we are going to mail that out tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
Along with some extra little goodies. Yeah, because everyone likes a little surprise. And we're super excited and happy that is done. And if you did not catch that, it was in one of our Vlogtober posts. It says giveaway winner announced. Go check it out.
Yep, it was Dawn Jones, also known as Adventures in Clumsy Crochet.
Yeah.
Or Adventures of the Clumsy Crochet.
Crocheter. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Dawn. We hope that you really, truly enjoy our little yarn package. Yes. So, life updates. I went camping on the coldest day in October so far. Probably will be the coldest day in October.
Again?
No, since the last podcast. I went camping. We were planning on camping, and now we actually went.
Oh, because you told about the camping trip in one of the
Vlogtober
posts.
Vlogtober has her all
I'm
messed
up
up.
to speed now. I'm getting there. My cells aren't all snaps.
We had 85 Cub Scouts scheduled to go, and 55 actually showed up, which was expected. It was really, really cold. We had a really good time.
Overnight lows of 35 degrees.
Yes. Now that being said, we stayed through everything all day, did all of the adventures, ate dinner, did the campfire, and I looked at my 9-year-old. He'll be 10 on Saturday. This Saturday is his birthday. And I said, if you want, we can go home, sleep in our own beds, and come back in the morning. And he said, can we do that, Mommy? And I said, well, sure we can do that. And he goes, let's do that. And so that's what we did.
Happy birthday, Landon.
Happy birthday Saturday. Yes. Double digits. He'll be 10. Oh my goodness. Where did it go? He was just a little bitty thing like 2 days ago. I promise. Anyway, it's going really fast.
Goes fast.
It really, really, really does. A blessing to me and my husband, keeping us young. Yeah, absolutely.
Keeping you on your toes.
I went to Anna's house on Sunday.
Yep.
And we looked at some of her vehicles. I don't feel like we really got to help much, but at least we probably
we got
narrowed
diagnosis.
It down. Yes.
You know,
what they
that's
might
the
need.
important
And
part.
nothing too terrible major, but you know, a set of tires can feel really major at times. So, keep Anna in your prayers as she travels back home today. And
because I'm on worn tires.
Yeah.
And a bad ball joint.
Yeah, but it's nothing that can't be fixed.
Yeah.
So, no blown up engines or transmissions falling out on the side of the road
that.
or anything like that.
Knock on wood. Good
Got
Lord.
to pick some pokeberries, which I'd really been hunting for, and I only found one little bush, and
I'm covered up in pokeberry.
And she had tons and tons, and I could have picked like 4 times as much as I did. But
we don't eat poke salad.
Well, I don't either.
So we just let it grow.
For those of you who don't know, poke salad is a weed that grows randomly, and it's poisonous.
If you get leaves that are too big or the stems.
Yes,
or
and you have to
too many berries.
Boil it and rinse it and boil it again, and rinse it again, and boil it again. Now, that being said, I'm sure it saves some pioneers' lives. We're not pioneers.
According to Outlander, it'll keep you from getting scurvy.
It's a green. You know, like collard greens or spinach or... But why? Why? Why would you eat something that could possibly kill you if you didn't have to?
When you have no choice.
I'm saying,
really?
If you don't have to. If you could go to the store and buy some kale, why would you eat poke salad?
Because it has a distinctive flavor.
Yeah, so does kale.
And kale does not taste good with an egg scrambled up in it like poke salad does.
Do you know this from experience?
Yes, because I have eaten poke salad before. My grandmother made it, and I think my only problem with it was that it was a little too greasy.
My dad ate brains and scrambled eggs too.
No,
pork
thank
brains.
you.
But I'm not going to. Okay, sorry.
I believe in utilizing all of the animal, but there are parts that can be utilized for something else.
Sorry about my rabbit trail. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I have for life updates. Pray for me. I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday for the 10-year-old's birthday with cousins. So, and Saturdays, you know, there's always like...
That place is the devil!
There's always like 30 birthday parties going on. We did not do that. We're not paying for a birthday party. We're just having cousins, ordering some pizza, having some cake, giving them some tokens, and when they've spent their tokens, we're going home. But, you know, when you're 10, and this will probably be the last year he would even want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and he says, I would like to go to Chuck E. Cheese and spend my birthday with my cousins. Well, what do? You go to Chuck E. Cheese and enjoy time with the cousins, and it will be super fun. And my husband will take 100,000 pictures, and it'll be a day we remember forever, because you know he's gonna be in double digits, and pretty soon it'll be.
He'll be too cool for that.
Yeah, he'll be too cool for Chuck E. Cheese. So enjoy it while we have it. And if you haven't seen my kid, he's the most adorable little thing on the face of the planet.
He looks like Harry Potter.
That's what she says. Anyway,
he just doesn't have the little lightning bolt scar on his forehead.
So what's going on in your life?
I have 3 broken down vehicles. Since Joey's truck is the least
broken-ish,
worrisome, we're going to use it next weekend, and we're going to help Krista and Josh move. Let's see, what else are we doing? I think that's it.
Okay. Well,
I can't think of anything else. I brought some of my yarn from the yarn crawl that I want us to wind up before I leave.
We can do that, especially if you got here a little earlier.
Well, I got a late start.
So, I want to talk about our make-along.
Yes.
During admin and life updates and wherever we might be right now, I'm not sure.
You must join our Ravelry group, Tune on Yarn Snobs.
And follow us on Instagram. So we're having a Christmas make-along.
Because we'll have prizes for each.
Yes, we will. And I'm not exactly positive what all the prizes will be, but I think there's going to be some handmade soaps. Because Alicia, the girl that I work with, she makes handmade soaps. And I'm trading her some crochet for some handmade soaps. Fair trade. So it's not just yarn. I mean, yarn's fantastic.
Yarn's great.
But I wanted to do something a little different, like a gift to our viewers. So I know there'll be some handmade soaps involved. And I am making some soy candles. So we're going to have some soy candles. I'm going to make some of my not so perfect bags, because I promise you'll find a flaw somewhere. But they're definitely usable. And I'm not going to do Christmas theme, because we're going to run this till Christmas.
Yeah, and by the time
we
got it for it, Christmas is over.
Christmas will be over. So, but I'll find something fun, or maybe Anna will go fabric shopping with me or something. Maybe We might even film that. Who knows what we'll do.
So when are we ending this thing?
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day will be the last day?
Because some of us, ding, 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 might be up late on Christmas Eve finishing something. And I don't want you to miss out on being able to enter that. So it is 2NYS Christmas MAL. Hashtag
2019.
Yeah. Hashtag
2019 on there.
2 non-yarn snobs. The number 2
We should
NYS.
have done a graphic.
We
for
should
this.
have.
I will post it in the description box. The
Below.
hashtag
Hey,
for
we're
that.
going to get some things going in the description box below. I'm excited about that. I think that's great. Anna's figured it out.
I'm
And I'm
learning how to
really
do
happy
links.
about it. And I learned to compile videos because of
She's
Vlogtober.
learning to compile.
I did. And I did some editing. I just left what I didn't want and cut everything else out. Oh well. Learning experience, right?
So wait. You cut the good and left the bad?
I did. And I had to redo the
Learning
whole thing
experience.
again. Absolutely learning experience. So, so follow us on Instagram. Use the hashtag 2 non-yarn subs Christmas
we will
Maker
draw
on
using the
2019.
hashtag.
But 2 non-yarn subs is just the initials NYS, the number 2. 2 non-yarn subs. Christmas MAL 2019. And we will draw from at least one from Instagram and one from Ravelry, but depending on what all I get done and what we get put together, could be more. So definitely let's show me what you're making for Christmas.
Has to be something that you are making to give as a gift.
Yes.
And in order to win, you have to be from a country that can accept yarn and such like.
Yeah.
We don't pay customs or duties. That's up to you. We'll ship it to the country, and then anything beyond that is up to you.
Yeah, for sure.
And void where prohibited.
Yes, absolutely. Nothing
I
we
don't
can
know
do
what
about
else to
it.
say about it.
Okay,
I mean,
that
I listed
sounds-
it with our last.
That sounds like plenty to me. So on to. We'll wait for Anna. Finished objects. So we always start our podcast with dish towels and kitchen items. And I actually have some this week. I know, you're surprised. I'm surprised too, to tell the truth.
I got one in here, around here somewhere. Excuse me.
So Anna's got one somewhere, so she thinks.
Go ahead, because it might be in my backpack. I don't know
Okay,
what to take.
this is the Clean Sweep by Erika Loftin. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It is a crocheted dishcloth. It's a simple circle with a scalloped edge. The pattern called for an H hook, but I didn't have one handy. I was at work one day and I had an I hook. So it got made with an I hook. And guess what? I made two clean sweeps.
Those are so pretty too.
And it did
You
call
need
for
this
a
pattern.
magic circle, and instead I used a chain 4.
I need this pattern.
Well, it's going to be linked down below. I have it printed off in the office
I was
too.
gonna say, can't you just give me a print?
I have it printed out in the office too. Okay, what do you got? What you got?
I have one grandma's favorite. It's a wonky grandma's favorite.
Once you throw it in the washer and the dryer, it will be fine.
It's wonky.
Once she puts it in the washer and dryer, it
See
will be
how
fine.
wonky that is?
But this is knit on the bias.
And I
So you
started
start here with 3 stitches.
I started with 4 because
Anyway, and then as you go, the weight is pulling on it. And so you get this little funky edge. Throw it in the washer and dryer, they square right back up.
it's my wonky grandma.
And this is, I love this cotton by Hobby Lobby in
Pink,
the
teal, and orange.
pink, teal, and orange. And Anna must have had a bunch of it because
Not really. I just love that color.
she just loves this color. Okay. So I have Grandma's Favorite Dishcloth by PJ Allen. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is the knitted dishcloth that I do quite regularly. And I'm trying to branch out and do different things so you're not always looking at the same thing. But someone came and brought us and gave us yarn. And see, mine's a little funky too because this is the end I ended on.
Wonky grandma too.
So, but they square up when you wash them. No problem. So, someone gave us some yarn. Like 3 bags full of yarn. Amazing. That was amazing.
If you watched October, you saw that.
Yeah, you did. So I feel like I'm repeating everything that we've already said.
That's
but
okay.
That's okay. So I don't know what colorway this is. It feels like a peaches and cream.
It is.
It's a really pretty variegated greens and whites, and it was just enough to do this. So, yay, done.
I had a cone of that.
You had a cone of that?
Yeah, those soap sacks that I did are in that color.
Okay. And then I have one other household item. And this is a Bagoday on YouTube. Tutorial number 240. Reusable face makeup removers.
Link below.
Link below. Absolutely. And I made 4. And they're super cute. And they're big, a little bit bigger than the cotton ones that you buy and throw away. So a young lady that wears makeup is going to get some of these for Christmas.
You could do a little drawstring bag that she could just toss them all in the washer.
I might do that. So that was Crystal at Bagoday, tutorial number 240, and we'll put the link down below.
Kind of like that.
Okay, you have any other household stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did one dishcloth.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. I'm drinking water. Just spring water.
I'm on half and half tea.
But I have to have something every now and then. Okay, so hats. I didn't bring Patrick out.
That's okay. They've seen this one before. It's a Bagoday chocolate bonbon. Imagine that. With half doubles instead of singles. And this colorway is called Strawberry Jam.
I love this yarn.
I love this yarn colors.
Yeah.
And it's called Strawberry Jam. And I like the yarn except for the black started here but it didn't go all the way, or it didn't reach all the way around. I mean, but
it's a lovely hat.
Otherwise I like it, and it'll warm somebody's noggin.
Absolutely. So, we donated all the hats to the Johnson County Youth Coalition, and they have come back and asked if we could do more men's or boys' hats. And I will.
That was also on a Vlogtober post.
And I will, or we will, whatever, but it may not be until after Christmas. But I did this hat. And this is a Bagoday ribbed beanie number 570.
Link below.
Link down below. And it was a simple enough hat, and it turned out nice, and I like the texture on it. Do I like the chocolate bonbon better? Yes. But is this a nice hat? Yes, it is. It is. Crystal's an amazing designer. And this is a nice manly hat.
I'll tell you what I like about the chocolate bonbon so much. Just when you get bored of doing one stitch pattern, it changes to another one.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, there's only 2 different stitch patterns, but when you get bored of one, you go back to the other, and so it keeps you interested. So I made a child's hat.
Oh, all right.
Also thinking along the lines of the Youth Coalition wanting more boy hats. This one I made using
Dun, da, da, da.
Lion Brand Heartland is the gray, and these kind of bluish greenish stripes. That is some mandala Sphinx held double.
Oh, that's awesome. It's not an FO. It's not an FO.
What do you mean it's not an FO? Did I not weave in all the ends? Whoops. My bad.
Her tails are hanging out. And she's the one who's like, it's not an FO. Anyway, it's a nice hat.
It's been a rough week.
It's a nice hat. Her husband was on vacation.
He was on vacation last week.
So, when the husband's home, you can't get anything done, right? Nothing. Okay, I only have one more FO.
And this morning he was still complaining that we didn't do enough last week, that he just sat around too much.
Oh.
Now he's sore.
Oh. I only have one more FO.
Okay.
Do you have any more?
No.
Okay. And I just did this morning because, oh, actually I have two. One of them I've already gifted. I'll have to get my picture on my phone.
What?
I know, right?
You are so off-brand.
The cabled arm warmers by Elaise Piper. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I will show you the arm warmers. Well, what it was is one of the leaders in the Cub Scout group, troop, pack. Yeah, troop is Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts is a pack. Asked me if I could please make her some arm warmers, fingerless mittens, and I said, well, sure I can, and then didn't for over a year.
Shame on you.
Well, well, sure I can, but then, I forgot.
But then life got in the way.
I just forgot that she wanted anything like that, and then she posted a picture of some on Etsy. So those are her hands in the fingerless mittens that I made, and they are knitted, and it has a cable, and you had the option to Kitchener this, like you're in the room with me. This cable is knitted flat and then sewn together, and you had the option to Kitchener stitch it together or just to sew it together. I just sewed it together so there's seams on the inside of the palms because I didn't care. And then you pick up stitches and you knit the arms, and then just a little bit of garter stitch at the end, and they turned out nice. They were a little big, and I hit gauge. I did a gauge swatch. I don't know, right? I made gauge, so just the pattern's a little bit loose, but and they're 100% merino wool, and as she wears them and washes them, they're going to go down some.
Yeah, they'll felt a little bit.
And I told her hand wash, lay flat to dry, and she will. So she's knit worthy. She takes care of her things, but they'll still shrink up a little bit. Okay, so I only have one other FO, and I did that this morning because Anna and I were texting one another, and she saw a jacket that she thought she might like to have, and it's Bagoday tutorial 412, and it's made out of these.
This is block number 411.
Yes, this is block number 411. This is the Kaleidoscope granny square. This one was done and in my stash out of the recommended yarn. It's made with mandala. It's a lovely jacket for, it's kind of frilly and girly, and it's a lovely jacket. But mandala is a lightweight yarn. So so this one I already had made and was just in my yarn closet. And I told Anna I thought there's just not enough structure, in my opinion,
drapey
for the jacket. So I made one this morning out of Red Heart ombre. And I don't remember the colorway. It's laying in the break room, which y'all all have seen if you watch Vlogtober, because I've done a few posts from there. So it's laying on the table back there. It's like the maroons to dusty pinks. And I actually thought maybe the colors would change faster, like in here somewhere, but it just barely started to change on the outside edge, and that's fine. Well, what this does is, I think it gives it more structure. Less drape, more structure, and it's only about 1/4 of an inch bigger. I laid them out, and I used an eye hook on both, which is the recommended hook, and I think that would work well. So you never know, we might do this. We might end up making the jacket.
It may end up being a make-along.
It might be a make-along. Never know. So anyway, that's my only other FO is 1 square. And I made it today at work. It's been that kind of day. We had dogs. We had like 8 or 9. They were all just bath dogs. Ugh. Which I love bathing dogs, but it's not much to giving a bath and
That
cutting some
kills your back
toenails.
after a while.
Yeah, and it was like we were done before noon, and so I had plenty of time to crochet a square.
Okay, my other graphics have fallen on the floor, so.
Okay, so now we're gonna move into works in progress. Whips, woo! And I only have 1.
I have 2.
Anna has 2.
Okay.
Well, that's not true. I did put maybe 5 or 10 rows on a sock, but I didn't drag it out because it's not impressive. I mean, it's like this much.
This one's almost done.
It's another chocolate bonbon beanie.
It's another chocolate bonbon. And this time I'm holding mandala with that Lion Brand Heartland, and I don't know which colorway this is.
That's a pretty colorway.
Okay, so I got home one day. Well, I got inside one day, and my dogs had pulled the center out. So I thought that it was just like some of the random balls from that skein of Sphinx that I cut out to make that teddy bear.
Yeah.
No. So I just decided to start it, and anyway.
It's nice
so
and masculine.
I've gone from red to purple to blue.
Yeah.
But
if you don't end in pink,
with
it'll be a
that
nice masculine.
I shouldn't. There's still a whole lot of blue.
Oh yeah,
there.
there's a lot of blue.
There's a whole lot of blue there, and I only have like, I don't know, 4 or 5 rows left to go. I was lazy today. Didn't feel like finishing it.
Oh, and she has a dishcloth on needles.
Hey, it's a whip.
Another, right? I'm telling you, if I put 3 stitches in it, it's a whip.
And it's the Paris in June. I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm getting all tangled up on the...
And are you doing another grandma's favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that pattern.
It's another wonky grandma.
But I am trying to branch out and do different things because I have a tendency to do the same thing over and over. And that's okay. So I am working on a marled mandala granny square blanket. Afghan. And I last time I had just like decided to do this when we podcast last, and I had made 4 squares that day at work. I have 80. There are 80 squares done.
She's made 76 squares in 2 weeks.
Some of them, most of them, all but just 2 have the ends woven in. And I just randomly grabbed 2 mandala off my shelf and made squares. And then I went in and closed my eyes and grabbed 2 more. And then I grabbed 2 more. So there are 6 mandala cakes in this basket. And so I made, and I'm sure you don't want to see all 80 of them, but look at this one. It reminds me of the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh.
Does it not?
I don't know. I don't know what color the Seahawks use.
Or this bright green and blue.
Blue.
Anyway, I think that it's turning out really pretty. And I've started putting it together with the join as you go method. And I have that, and I'll show it to you. And I'm using a Care-On 1 pound in a cream to put it together with. And I have not woven in the ends, so you'll just have to forgive me. So I think it's really interesting and pretty and scrappy without it being actually a ton of scraps. These were 6 brand new cakes that I hadn't got into. And maybe it'll be an FO for the next podcast. Maybe not. Probably. Because I'm really generally pretty monogamous. Which means a lot of things just sit and wait. Okay.
She used to be completely monogamous. She would not start one project without finishing the one she was working on.
That's true. Now, not so much.
Like the Allen Dart, what was it, Cowboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she made everything, the hat, the gun, the whole 9 yards.
In like a week or less. He's really cool.
He is really cool.
Alan Dart's an amazing designer too. He does knitted toys, stuffies, softies, whatever you want to call them. And they are amazing.
Action figures.
Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. And I've done a couple of his patterns. I made a robot. I actually made 2 robots. Because Landon dropped his robot in the backyard. And I'm a dog groomer. And I think there's some sort of law that says that you can't groom dogs unless you own some. And yeah, the dog's got his robot and ripped it to shreds. And he cried a lot because his robot died.
That was when he was just a wee little thing.
He was like 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 maybe. And he still has his robot. Yeah, he was 3. He was 3. So he still has his robot, his second robot. And his daddy for Christmas made him a charging station. AKA doll bed. No, charging station. For his robot to go to sleep in so he could recharge for the next day. That might have happened.
That's funny.
Okay, I just have a couple of fiber adventures, not a whole lot. Do you have any fiber adventures? Okay, well, the fingerless mittens that you saw, I did dye the yarn for them, and I have some left over. This is an acid dye on a organic merino worsted weight yarn. I use spearmint. I actually used 2 different ones, but you're not going to be able to tell the difference on camera. This one is spearmint, and this one is leaf green. And honestly, even in person, I have a hard time telling them apart. Not much different at all. Like, I could knit with both of these, and I can tell the difference in person, but it's hard. Like, you could alternate skeins. This one has a little bit more blue tones in it than this one.
If you made another pair of fingerless mitts out of that, someone would probably think that one had gotten washed one time more than
Yeah, I mean, there's not much difference. But I did dye this. This was with acid dyes. It's organic merino worsted weight, and I made fingerless mittens. And then this morning, as I was at her house on Sunday and picked pokeberries, and then they were in a Walmart bag, and I set it in a bowl on my counter. Sunday night. It's Tuesday, in case anyone wants to know. It's Tuesday. So they sat there Sunday night, and then I really planned on going straight home and putting them in the dye pot. I have a 9-year-old. I'm past 50. It just didn't happen. I was pretty tired. And then yesterday I worked on Mondays. I work by myself because everyone deserves 2 days off, because for 10 years I worked 6 days a week, and will totally work by myself, so the other girl can have 2 days off. She has Sundays and Mondays, and I have Saturday and Sunday. So I work by myself on Mondays, and it went crazy. I had like 10 dogs. Perfectly doable by yourself. And then I got home and like had to fix dinner, and then off to Cub Scouts. And then once we were done at Cub Scouts, came home, and yeah, I went up to dyeing yarn. So it sat on my counter Sunday and Monday. And then last night my husband was like, what do you have to do to use these pokeberries? I'm like, well, they need smashed, and then it's a 50-50 vinegar water solution that they'll go into, and then we'll have to, then I'll strain them. I was telling him the process, why he wanted to know, I don't know, or I didn't know, because,
You
but-
should have known.
but if your husband asks you about how you do something, and they're like acting like they're interested, you should talk to them. And then I went to bed, and I got up this morning, and he goes, okay, I smashed the pokeberries, and they're in 50% water and 50% vinegar. He goes, you might want to do something with them before they go bad. I wasn't even concerned.
See, you should have known, because Jerry enjoys dyeing yarn.
So, I didn't even
Good.
consider that pokeberries might go bad, because I don't think they would have. I think they might have like shriveled a little bit. Anyway, so at 6 o'clock this morning, I was getting a dye pot going. That being said, they have to simmer for an hour with the yarn. So I strained it, got the dye in the pot with the vinegar, and found yarn, because we're moving, guys. I know all of you have moved before, right? So we are moving December the 4th. We can start moving in. So my house is boxes and boxes and
more boxes.
things out of place that shouldn't be there. So I had to find yarn this morning, which was in my cedar chest. So I found it. It's Anna's yarn, by the way, because I don't know where mine's at. It's okay. So, I found the yarn, put some extra ties in it, put it in the pot, and set the timer, and asked him if he would please turn it off when the timer went off, and maybe even pour the water off of it, and wait until it got to room temperature, not hot at all, before he rinsed it, because he has rinsed yarn before, so he understands it has to be cool to the touch. And so he rinsed it and dried it and brought it to me, so I have it to show. So this is the pokeberry yarn, and you don't always get out of the dye pot the color that you see in the pot. Quite often you don't get out the color that you see when you're talking about natural dyes. Now when you're dealing with commercial acid dyes, for sure you get the color that you see. Natural dyes, not so much.
So if you watched her Vlogtober post this morning, you saw this
Beautiful magenta.
Magenta.
Well, this is an orangey red. That's about right. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
So it is and orange is my favorite color, so I'm not disappointed at all. But it is an orangey red. And I like it. And I have two of them. Because if you're going to dye one skein, you might as well dye two. And I had enough berries to dye two. So I dyed two. And there's some pinks in it, but it's mostly orangey red. And I think that'll make a lovely shawl, or it is fingerling weight, so, some color work in a sweater. Who knows? It's going to go in the yarn stash, I'm sure. That's where it's going to go for right now until it decides to be something. But I'm still pretty happy with my natural dyeing experience today. Okay.
I like it.
That's all my fiber adventures. Once we get moved and unpacked, and my house is not chaos like it is right now, I know that some people have been asking for some dyeing videos, and I will do that. I will be happy to do that and share my experiments along the way and what I've learned along the way. Absolutely. Am I going to do it when there's boxes stacked to the ceiling? No. And it's not that I'm embarrassed. We're just packing and moving. And no one wants to look at that. I don't want to look at that. But it's just part of life, you know. We are thankful that we closed on our house. Oh, that's something else that happened. We closed on our house. And we know that we have time to get packed and moved, and we're not having to do it in a weekend. Because we got way too much stuff for that.
Unlike Crystal.
Yeah.
Pretty much has to do it on a weekend.
Yeah. So, it's going to be fun, and it'll be fine, and once we're in the new house, maybe we can do some soy candles, which are super simple, and some yarn dyeing, and I'll be able to set up my rigid heddle loom that has lived in my yarn closet for the last 2 years, and be able to do some weaving, and that's exciting, and some more spinning. I see more spinning in my future. I'm going to have a small fiber art studio. It's a sunroom with a beautiful view in the back to the backyard. And all my stuff gets to live in there behind the French doors. And no one's going to go in there but me. And Anna. Yeah. So anyway, 2 beautiful skeins of an orangey red sock yarn.
Tomato.
Yeah, kind of tomatoey. So I think that's about all I have.
I'm going to do a quick reminder of the cows that I have planned, or well, make-alongs that I have planned for the new year. One of them being a calendar make-along, a la Sit and Wasetta. And the other one will be a My Favorite Movies
Awesome.
make-along, a la Lisa at Happy to Hook Creations.
That sounds like fun.
So if you don't know what those are, go check out Sit and Wasetta and Happy to Hook.
Yeah. Spread the love, guys.
Yeah.
We're happy for to have all the subscribers that we have. Thank you for joining us. If you're new, thank you. If you're coming back, thank you. Definitely.
Keep coming back.
Yeah. Sometimes we're funnier than others. Just depends on what's going on. And we'll keep up the fiber content. Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Make sure everyone's regular.
And make sure they're all regular. I don't know what I'm gonna have on my hook once this Afghan comes off, or on my needles. I've really wanted to knit here lately, which is a little slower process, so I may not have as many FOs, but as long as I'm happy, right? You'll be happy to see whatever I manage to get done, right? Yeah, because I was definitely a knitter first, and my knitting little heart feels like knitting a sweater, which might take a minute, a hot minute.
Sorry, I hear a vehicle outside that really sounds like it's right outside, but I'm not seeing it, so that's why I keep looking around.
Have fun with your fiber adventures, guys. Stay safe. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Bye.